much do you really need to put down? I'm sure you've heard people say that you need to put 20% down, and maybe you've seen advertisements for 0% down. Let's get real today and talk about what you really need to put down. My name's Stacey Ryle, and this is the place to be to learn everything you need to know about buying your first house. We're going to talk about the minimum down payments for different loan programs, and then we'll talk about some averages for what first-time homebuyers are putting down. And then last, we'll talk about how you can decide what you should be putting down based upon your goals. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. What are the minimum required down payments? At the very least, for conventional loans, if you're a first-time homebuyer and you meet the requirements, you can do 3% down. For FHA loans, you can do 3.5% down. VA loans and USDA loans allow you to put 0% down. If you're doing an FHA loan or a conventional loan, you may be able to get down payment assistance depending on your state and your local area. So that's pretty simple. That's what you're required to put down. But what are most first-time homebuyers putting down? In 2020, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average down payment for first-time homebuyers was 7%. Does that mean you should put 7% down? No, it does not. It's just an average. So how to decide what you should put down? At the end of the day, it's all about you and your goals. Not an average, not what somebody says you should be putting down, and not a minimum requirement. Number one, you want to look at how long you plan to keep the home that you're looking at purchasing. When you go to sell a home, it costs anywhere from 6 to 10% between commission and closing costs just to sell the home. For example, if you're only putting 3% down and you plan to sell the home in 2 years, you might not have enough equity to be able to sell without paying upfront. So you want to make sure that by the time you're ready to sell, you have enough equity so that hopefully you make money, but you're not losing money at the very least. Number two, what are your goals for your monthly payment and your out-of-pocket costs? Of course, the more you put down, the lower your monthly payment's going to be. Not everyone has access to put more down, so you really need to look at what's available to you and what you're comfortable with spending both monthly and out of pocket. Number three, look at the alternatives to putting more or less down. So if you're fortunate enough to be in a position where you could put 20% down, look at the numbers if you were to put 10 or 15% down and maybe leave that extra money aside so that you could do value increasing upgrade, or you could invest that extra money. Just run the numbers to see what it would look like if you did put less down and did something else with your extra funds. Or if you only have access to a small down payment now and you're thinking, should I wait a little bit longer to save more for a down payment? Think about how much you'll spend in rent while you wait to save and how much home prices will increase in your area in the meantime. So how long is it going to take you to save extra for your down payment, and what is the cost of that? Really look at all of your options, and you can work with a lender to run the numbers for this, but what does it look like if you put more down, and what does it look like if you put less down? We looked at the minimum down payments required. 3% for conventional for first-time homebuyers, 3.5% for FHA, 0% down for VA and USDA. But ultimately, it's all going to come down to what are your goals for the home long-term and what are your goals for your monthly payment and your out-of-pocket costs. And quite frankly, what's realistic for you? Hit the like button down below if this was helpful and subscribe to see more videos like this.